What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dolphins Daily, your daily dose of Dolphins content with your boy Chris Kane. Let's talk about the Dolphins. I am a little bit hoarse because I just got done watching the Dolphins game and I yelled a lot, as I'm sure y'all did too, because there's a lot to yell about, something to cheer about, but very much a lot to yell about. And so, my voice is is finished, it's feeling the pain of being like, "Come on, man!" Like it happens a lot. So this game is a mixed bag of everything. So we're gonna start with the good, then the bad, more bad stuff, and there's some trends going forward, right? We're gonna start with the good. The good was the skill position guys. I think this is the best total unit I've seen from Tyreek, Tua, Jalen, Devon, and I'm gonna throw Malik Washington in there, even though receiving the ball he wasn't like a big part of the game, but his punt return was a big deal. I haven't seen all these guys play well at the same time. I don't know, in a long time. They all had the right stats. I saw like good route running. I saw good hands catches. Not a lot of run after the catch for the two receivers. Devon obviously did that. I think this is the most complete offensive performance they've shown as a unit. I like that Tyreek got over 100 yards for the first time in forever, and he looked like real Tyreek. Had Tua thrown a better deep ball, Tyreek would have had I don't know 140 yards on 7 catches today. That's Tyreek. That's top five receiver Tyreek. But because Tua woefully underthrew that deep ball, I'm saying almost 10 yards that ball's underthrown by because Tyreek literally running full speed went to a full stop and then came back to the ball. So imagine how fast Tyreek is. If he had just kept running where the ball should have met him, he had to come back to the ball. So that's at least a 10-yard on the throw. It could be as much as 15, depending on how much air he put under the ball. But it still was a 47-yard catch. It should have been probably a 70-yard touchdown, but that's either here or there. We will take a big play. I thought Waddle on the touchdown grab looked great. I said before the game I expected Waddle to ball because he should be on the third corner. I didn't think Waddle got enough targets, but when he got targets, he caught the ball. He was open. Every time I saw him run around, he was basically open. And he broke to the sideline, got a nice touchdown grab. We love that. Devon Achan's touchdown was too much. His one touchdown. He should have had two. We'll talk about the first one. The first one, he was lined up with a linebacker, which happens because he's a running back. He literally just caught like a crossing route and just accelerated. The linebacker that was covering him, I don't think actually touched him. He was right next to him. He was like, "Oh, I got this guy," and he just like, yeah, he just ran past him. And then when he got near the goal line, I like that he got strong and finished the run because he got collided with at about a 2-3 yard line, and then just like bounced off of it and went through to the top. I'm like that. We know he's a smaller back, so seeing him finish with strength, love that. Uh, Tua played like how we want Tua to play when he's playing well, for the most part. Quick throws, good decision making, not holding on to the ball, outside, inside, way more accurate this game than last game. He did miss Tyreek awfully on another throw, like an over route. Don't know where he was throwing. I Tyreek looked up like, and then he like kind of did like a jump in place and he went to the sideline and started barking. You will probably see that in the media over the next week of Tyreek being like, "Yo, come on," and then him on the sideline like mad because he was very much open. I don't know where Tua was throwing the ball because it didn't look like he was even under pressure on that throw. I don't think Tyreek ran the wrong route either because there was a safety over the top. So I don't know what was going on there. Basic miscommunication, maybe. Worst case, just terrible throw. But we'll take that. Devon should have had a legacy defining touchdown for Tua on the last 2 minute drive of the game. But he, unfortunately, as he planted his foot, stepped out of bounds. When did that play happen, the bar? I yelled. I said, "Let's go, baby!" Because going into that drive, I said, "This is a legacy defining drive for Tua." We had an awful week one. He was god awful. Bounced back. Him and the media be getting into it all week about his turnover woes. He had a terrible turnover in this game. We'll get into that. But minute 47, timeout, go win the game. You need a touchdown. And to throw a swing pass that ends up going up, like evidently, the distance, and Devon just catching on the sideline, just being so fast and scoring. It was like, yes, this is why you get this guys the ball, feed your skill positions. Shout out to you, too. High fives, all that good stuff. I legit had 5 or 6 high fives. My hand was sore. And I looked up. I said, "Why isn't the score changed?" And they saw his foot out of bounds. I said, Then I thought, oh, this is cool because we get to burn more time at the clock. We don't have to put our defense out there. I actually like this. And then we didn't score because we had 4 consecutive plays in a row. That was the worst of all time. But that's not part of the good. We'll move that to later. So I do think those guys were great. And then Malik Washington, the punt return, is the best punt return I've seen from a Dolphin in more than a year. It was, he made a decisive cut. He broke a couple tackles. He looked fast. Tyreek was a punt return at some point in the game as well. I don't know. They were just like experimenting with putting him out there. I'm here for it. They are going to do that. But that was a good part. I was like, we can work here. I don't think we had a good part at the week one. I think it was all just universally bad. So we can take a little bit of the good. We're going to start with the bad, and the bad is the defense. I don't know. I know the defense was a big part of the players on the meeting. I still don't think they showed up in this game. We know the secondary is not going to be great. I thought the secondary was bad again today. Just a lot of guys just not in good position. That's the thing. I don't know what our overall scheme is because we do a lot of man, but we play some zone too. I don't. It doesn't seem like we have a scheme that fits our personnel. So we just have guys on the field in coverage, but are probably like, I don't know if I should be here. I feel like every man matchup is a bad matchup. You know how normally you have like, if you put your corner on this receiver, then teams say, okay, cool, I have to go to another receiver. I don't think that any team sees our secondary and thinks I need to switch my matchup. I think if the ball was going to the fourth receiver and he's lined up against our number one corner, they're like, seems fair to me. Seems like a fair fight. I think my guy's got a real chance to win. And through 2 weeks, what we've seen is whatever your receiver is against whoever's in our secondary, that matchup is in the offense's favor. I have not seen lockdown corner play. I haven't seen guys consistently breaking on the ball. I haven't seen them reading coverage as well. I haven't. It's just been wherever they throw the ball is open. The only question is, am I going to make a good enough throw? Thank God Drake may miss a few throws today. There was plenty of people open, and he missed a few throws. Like thank goodness, and he held him to a field goal. It wasn't us stopping people. It was very much him stopping himself. I don't know what's up with this front four. I don't know what's up. I went into this year thinking, okay, we're going to be good at the linebacker position. We have experience there. We're going to be stout up front and get good pass rush. We have not been stout up front. We are not getting a good pass rush. The linebackers have been awful. Willie Gay came in and showed a little bit of a flash today, and then he took him right out, and then the other starters were terrible. They're not reading where the running backs are. They're not actually making tackles, and they're not good in coverage. I don't know what we're doing in the linebacker position. Up front, has Zach Sealer played this year? Have y'all seen him? I've been looking. He got his money, and I have not seen Zach. Kenneth Grant, maybe he's doing a good job. Maybe not. They don't call his name during the games, and the ends have not done their job. I'm sure if Jalen and Bradley are coming back from injury and they're not themselves yet, maybe they're at 70% right now. They're not flashing. Chop had one flash play, and I was like, oh, that's good for Chop. The rest of the game, where is he? Judon, did he even play today? I don't know. I mean, I know he wears the sleeves, so I know he was on the field, but I didn't see him making plays. It's a it's a bad effort up front. They're just not winning. That's maybe the best way to describe it. Ideally, if the defense is doing their job, they're forcing holding calls, which we had a couple today, so we'll take that. They're getting in the backfield. They're flushing the quarterback. They're hitting the quarterback. They're making the receivers uncomfortable, making them scared to come across the middle. These everybody looks so comfortable playing us. We made Ramondre Stevenson look like Saquon Barkley today, and they drafted Travion Henderson to replace him because they don't think he's a good enough running back to be their number one guy. Like he's not explosive enough. He's basically a 4 yard and cloud of smoke kind of guy. They went and got a super fast running back thing. All right, we're gonna do Sonic and Knuckles kind of thing, and they just say, you know what, Ramondre, you cooking. They not tackling you. We don't even got bringing the young pup. We'll just let you just keep running. And there were so many plays where he's just running untouched for 4 to 5 yards before getting tackled. And I'm like, where is the linebacker play? Where are you? Because the Colts offensive line is really good. I think they're probably top 10 by the end of the year. They could be borderline top 5. Fair enough. The Patriots O-line is not good. In fact, their number one pick in the draft this year was Will Campbell, a tackle from LSU, because their O-line is not good. All last year, O-line's not good. Got to protect Drake May. Let's go and get offensive linemen. They're young. We'll figure it out as the year goes on. And they look great. They were consistently punishing us on run games. And anytime Drake May got flushed and got a chance to run, he's just running in space. Don't know where the linebackers were. Just no one making plays. It was it's frustrating to watch them because it's different if it was like we're getting constant pass rush, quarterbacks are being flushed, and they're just like throwing balls on the run and they're dropping this. All right, the secondary is not doing their job, but at least they're getting at the quarterback. But everybody just looks so comfortable playing our defense right now, and it's hard to watch. It's incredibly frustrating, and yeah, I'll talk about it more later in the week. The offensive line is not good. Period. We knew that going into the year. Austin Jackson has been placed on IR as well. I foresaw that earlier in the week. I said, hey, don't be shocked if Austin Jackson gets put on the IR. He's getting second opinions on his foot. Doesn't seem like it's healing well. They didn't practice all week. They said he was doubtful to play. Like he's not gonna play. Then they said he was out, and I was like, he's not playing anytime soon. It's a foot injury. He's a 300 something pound guy. Like it doesn't make sense for him to be on the field. That makes sense to me. Now that he's on the IR, along with James Daniels on the IR, two of our starting five are not playing. So now we got to plug in backup guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a rough watch. Uh, Keon was out there getting pushed around. Larry, what were you doing out here? I saw Kendall Lamb on the field at one point. It just wasn't a good effort. Jonah was getting pushed around. Aaron Brewer had a holding call. I saw Patrick Paul getting pushed around. Like Patrick Paul overall, I thought was okay. The left side of the line didn't seem to be a problem, but there was a couple times that he did just get ran past. I will say this was an equal opportunity bad offensive line performance. The right side to me was an abomination. The second half, especially down the stretch, it just kept seeing pressure come off the right side, and it kept flushing to it. He kept trying to step up, but he doesn't really step up, and he just kept. It just was. It was hard to watch. What the Colts were doing were blitzing off of that end, so they would have like a cornerback who's lined up in a slot, kind of trickle down into the play, and then come blitzing. The Patriots just lined up four guys and said, "Hey, we don't feel we need to even disguise what we're doing. We're simply going to blitz you. We're going to just run a regular four man. We'll get home." And guess what kept happening? They kept getting home. I don't know what they're doing on that side. I kept seeing guys just split the guard and tackle, and that's like, and you see Tua running, the ball flopping in his hand like a loaf of bread. I'm like, what's happening on that side of the field? There's no chips, nothing happening. So that's just the pass protection aspect of the offensive line. Not good. The lack of running is concerning at this point. I've been very much on the record that the Dolphins should run the ball at least half the time. I want a 60% split. And it's not because I don't want the ball in Tyreek and Tua and those guys' hands. It's because we don't have a good offensive line. And we don't have a quarterback we want to be in danger. You know the best way to keep Tua out of danger? Handing the ball off. If Tua could just hand the ball off, get 4, 5, 4, 7, 3, 6, just walk the ball. Nope, play action. Boop. You know how healthy Tua is going to be all year? And then when he does that play action, those linebackers have to get sucked up. We can throw the ball behind them, which is what we always want to do on offense anyway. Most of our routes are in breaking routes, but linebackers are dropping in coverage, so now we can't throw them like we want to. Tua tries to squeeze it in. The ball sails. That's how he throws picks because we're not running the ball. Linebackers don't respect the run. They just keep backing up. You start running the ball, they got to come forward. Then you can throw the ball. It's not rocket science, but we don't do it. And I don't think the coach really wants to run the ball, even though his genius is supposed to be in run scheming. We don't run the ball. We run it one time. If it gets 2 yards, that rest of that drive, then we're not running the ball anymore. We're done. Time to pass it. And I get you want to get positive yardage. You want to get 3, 4, 5 yards per play. I understand all that. Of course you do. But we all know that running the ball is a cumulative exercise. You don't just get to, I mean, yes, if you have a Derrick Henry, you might just break 7 or 8 40-yard runs in the game. Sure. Saquon last year kept breaking long runs, of course. But Saquon, a lot of his runs are 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, then break. Like, they just keep running the ball. They don't stop doing it. We get away from the run so fast, then we become one dimensional. Then the offense line is they're at the mercy of the defense. Because now they're constantly backing up trying to block. They're getting punished on the pass rush. Tua's getting knocked around. And every time he gets knocked around or we get sacked, now it's second, third down, and much longer. So now for sure you're not going to run the ball. So now the defense knows. Don't even have to worry about the running game really at all now. So now they're just really coming at you. And if they know you're going to throw the ball deeper, they can sink their coverage back deeper. Now you can't hit those deeper throws. It just kind of compounds. It just builds on itself. And it's because run the ball. I thought when we got Ollie Gordon, I had been hyping it up since we got him. If Ollie Gordon could be our David Montgomery, we got something. They brought him in a couple times. He showed a little flash, and they just said, "You're done." And Devon was amazing. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying take Devon off the field. Devon as a receiver was awesome today, but I want to see him get real carries in the running game, and I want to see Ollie Gordon get real carries. I just want to see them run the ball. Even if we have a couple drives, we have 3 carries, 8 yards, and punt. I just want to just commit to the run enough to let people know, hey, we're going to run the ball. Because all this, hey, I know you guys haven't been playing in a long time offensive line. You guys have no chemistry together, but you know what? Here you go. Go block for our franchise who we don't want to get touched. It feels like you're setting your team up for a disaster. And I don't know why you won't run the ball. When you drafted Ollie Gordon to help you run the ball, Devon is amazing as the lead back. Ollie's a great second. Jalen will be back in a week or two. And I think we're still going to run the ball 12 to 15 times total in a game and just say, let the chips fall where they may. And I don't understand it. I just don't get it. So it's frustrating. Let's move on. I want to talk about a couple of troubling trends that I've seen, or at least the main troubling trend. And it's just very suspect game management. I did this on a couple weeks ago. I talked about, can Coach McDaniel get better at running like situational football? We're the worst team in the league at challenges, and we're really bad at having timeouts late in halves in games. Sometimes because of challenges. You challenge a play, if you don't win it, you take a timeout away. Totally cool. We also burn a lot of timeouts because we can't get plays in. I can't tell you, and this is part of one of my rants. I can't tell you the number of times the play clock is at 1 and we barely get the playoff. And I don't understand how 4 years into the system, no one knows how to run a play. I don't get it. I was like, well, if coach is going to really keep his job, he's got to get better at situational management. This game today was one of the most egregious managements of time. That last drive is almost as bad as Colorado's last drive the first week of the season this year, the Buffaloes, where Kaden Salter was just like, all right, I'm going to throw this quick slant, get tackled in bounds, not burn a timeout, 30 seconds come off the clock. I'm like, what are they doing? I couldn't believe what they were doing. I'm like, why don't you burn a timeout? No, we can get up to the play and spike the ball. Oh, wait, we didn't get the first down. The clock kept running. It didn't make any sense. In this game, we literally had a delay of game, a false start, then a timeout, no yards, then a sack. And in each of those, we got either no playoff or the play was getting run at 1 or 0 seconds. A couple times it could have been another delay of game. And I was like, what are we doing? So obviously they asked Tua about it. Hey, why can't y'all execute plays and why can't things get in? And this is what Tua said. He says that was really frustrating. With the guys inside the huddle, then what the personnel is, and then the play for those guys. We have too many guys in. Why do we have another guy running in? Just a whole operation that was not up to standard, not up to par. And I've got to do a better job with guys. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that accountability. I don't think it's all him. I said a couple weeks ago, hey, if you're not getting the play calls in, it's either too complicated or you're doing too much. Because it's a we burned a timeout on the first drive of the second half because they couldn't get a play call in. I was like, bro, it's 13:50 on the clock. We just burned a timeout. I couldn't believe already we can't get a play call in. I don't get it. Did he drastically change the calls in the last season? Or is it the same playbook with just a couple things added to it? Everybody, Tyreek's been in his offense. Waddle's been in his offense. Obviously, Tua's been in the offense. Devon's been in the offense. I don't understand how they don't know where things are. I don't get why the play calls aren't in. We were home today. This wasn't a crowd noise thing where it was like, oh man, I can't hear the play call. You know, play call. Hey, Tua, it's 3 on the wristband. All right, bet. Y'all, we're running this play. I don't know what was happening. I just saw consistently guys nowhere near. They were in a huddle with 7 seconds left, trying to quickly break the huddle. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Isn't the whole point to line up early, send a couple of guys in motion, get a read on the defense, and then run a play? If you're breaking the huddle with 7, 8 seconds left, you don't have time because guys have to get set, or it's illegal formation, or it's illegal motion. You can't do that. And they consistently kept doing it. I don't understand. I don't get it. This is what we do the best. Miami's offense, dynamic, movement, smart, witty, like plays we never. Witty is not a good example, but like smart, creative, all that stuff. And all I see is, hey, where am I standing? Like I get it. If it was Nick Westbrook or Kine who was like off the field and was like, "Hey, I'm confused," no issues. I get it. If it's Ollie Gordon, like, "Yo, what am I doing?" I got it. No issues. That's not what it is. It's the quarterback and the receivers. Even Malik was here last year, who was like, "What are we doing?" Like they're not getting the plays in. And I don't know if coach is again trying to call the perfect play at the perfect time instead of just being like, "Yo, man, run the play." It was first and 10 one time, and they were like, "I can't get a play off." Like, what do you mean timeout? Yo, fire! We're running just a quick handoff. Let's get 2 yards and get the second down. Why are we burning timeouts? I think timeouts are so valuable, and I've said this before. It's my biggest pet peeve in football is that teams don't just take a 5 yard penalty; they'll burn a timeout. I was actually again watching this game in the Baltimore game, and they had the delay of game, and they were going to burn a timeout, and they just said no, we'll take the five, and then they got a first down the next play because Lamar threw like a 40-yard pass. But it was like, why are we burning timeout? You know how valuable that is late in the game. At any point in the game when you want to get a challenge off, when you want to like keep the clock, timeouts are they're precious, and teams just be like, oh, bad formation, like like bro, if you just did a quarterback, if you took a knee, just get to second down. We don't run our offense efficiently, and I don't understand why because all we do is run offense. I would understand if we had a lot of like false starts on the offensive line because we had a lot of new offensive linemen. That even that is more acceptable at this point. But when you are calling a play, and then this is what happens sometimes as well. When you make a change on offense, like personnel wise, the defense has to get a chance to do the same thing. So we're 15 seconds left in the clock. Oh, actually, run that receiver off and run new receiver on. The defense can then do the same thing, and they won't let you snap until the defense does their switch. So if we do our switch too late, sometimes defenses will wait, do their switch slowly to bleed the clock down. It's actually a really smart strategy for teams that like to do personnel switches. And we do so much like late in and out things that sometimes teams just say, you know, we're going to exchange our defense alignment. And by the time they come in again, referee literally stands over the ball like you're not going to stop the ball. Just wait. And you'll see the clock just bleeding down. And by the time they step away, it's 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. And sometimes that's why the clock is messed up. But that's still on us because we did a late adjustment. The defense is just matching our thing. This is this is coaching malpractice. This is quarterback malpractice. You got to get the play off. If the play doesn't work, play doesn't work, right? You read it improperly, like you think they're gonna do this on defense. You call this offense, you get it wrong. That's fine. But to not get the play called and people lined up consistently throughout the game, I just don't get it. Dumb down the offense. You have the personnel. Just dumb the offense down. Hey, instead of running this many plays, run this many plays. Can we lock these 15 plays in and then expand once we know play calls? It just leave it there. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in to Dolphins Daily. We appreciate the love and support. We're still on the road to 2K. I think we're at 1.98 right now. We're really close. So if you like the show, please subscribe, tell your friends and family. We'll see you next time on Dolphins Daily. Peace.